Open Your Eyes is brought to you by the Belize Bank. Our country, your bank.
Good morning and welcome to Open Your Eyes.
Start your morning right.
I'm April Martinez.
And I'm Gavin Courtney.
And good morning Tuesday. Gavin's back.
I know, right?
Welcome back.
It's been a little while.
It's been a little while. What you've been doing? We were talking a little bit on the show, but you were talking about your travels.
Yes.
I'm jealous. We're jealous.
Yes, I was away. I was really far for about a few weeks.
Yeah.
Yeah, I was telling April, the whole family and I, we went on safari, so we're all the way in Africa. And so I was telling not just about going there, but also traveling there. But it took a while.
I could imagine. So how many countries you hit? Just one?
Well, to get there, no. We had to travel through the States, and then we connected in Qatar. So it was two places. So we had to just get to two places, and then going to, I think the longest flight I was on was going back.
Yeah.
Qatar, Miami, 15 hours. So,
wow.
Yeah.
So in total, how many hours it take to get to Tanzania?
To get, the way how we went, let's see, Miami, New York, Miami to Belize is like normal, less than 2 hours. 2 hours. Miami, New York, Qatar going to 13. Qatar, Tanzania, another 9. So.
So you almost 24 hours.
Yeah, like if we just
traveling.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah.
Wow, you must have been exhausted.
Yeah. Yeah. So like I'm over the jet lag finally after being back for a couple of weeks, but. Yeah.
It was a good time?
Yeah, definitely.
Awesome. I'm still jealous. Next time, please, let me know so that you could pop me in your suitcase. I could fit. I guarantee you, I've tested it before.
For sure. Okay.
But I said I wanted to get into what's buzzing on the news today, but not just the news, because Gavin has we're having a long conversation about on the news and just the regular politics, crime, all of those trends that we kind of cover on a daily basis. And so we wanted to talk a little bit about entertainment. Right?
Yes.
Now that everything is opened up back.
Yes, for sure. And I mean, it's especially interesting to talk about now that we are, have started to open up back. And we've had recently pretty big events here talking about, the Food and Music Festival. And I know this past weekend, we had Jerk Fest, which was also pretty popular. I mean, I didn't make it out there, but I saw what was going on social media.
Yeah.
But speaking of social media, I was telling April that one of the biggest, social media trending topics across the region was an event that was supposed to have happened this past weekend as well. There is an entertainment company or group called Wiculture. It's a Caribbean entity, and they're known for hosting events, but they wanted to go big, and so they wanted to organize a whole travel, like a destination sort of weekend getaway to Mexico, to Tulum. So it was open, anybody from, so this was advertised all around the place, everybody from around the Caribbean. Some people bought tickets, and in total it ended up being about 70 people. And
only 70 people gone?
Yes. And
okay.
It was supposed to be a whole, it was I think about 3 or 4 days of events and tours and things. And the problem is that it seems that based on what a lot of people were saying, they didn't exactly get what they paid for when they landed. Things seem to have gone haywire. to transportation not being there, accommodations not being there, events not being organized or not what they said they were going to be. So it was giving a lot of people memories from that, fire festival, which was supposed to have taken place in Bahamas.
Do you know how much a person spent?
I think the package was about 12 or 1300 US. I think.
What?
Yes.
And yeah, I have too.
And so you could imagine some of the stories, and people were there was a whole lot of crazy spaces, and of course, this, like I said, this was people were flying in from a lot of different Caribbean countries, and I heard that people came from as far as the UK.
I mean, if you'd pay $1,200, $1,300 US for the event itself, you're not taking into consideration your flight. And if you'd come from the UK, that's another like $2,000.
Yep.
Wow.
So yeah, and so it was a huge topic on Twitter in particular. And then there was a bunch of hashtags like surviving We Culture, surviving Mexico.
Is the We Culture an entertainment company?
As far as I understand it is. So they're known for just throwing events. I want to say that they're based in Barbados, but I'm not 100% sure about that. Oh. They apparently host events. So I guess they wanted to go really big this year and try to do something different.
I think it kind of speaks to the fact that we're all excited to be back out and in the open. And so when an event like this happens, you don't really, before you used to be cautious, right? You used to be cautious about going across oceans and seas to go to an event. You do your double checks, you check out everything, you make sure that everything is perfectly in order. So, and I think that recently, as of lately, now that you have all of these events happening, you don't really do that anymore. You're just like, yes, I want to be out. Yes, I'll purchase my ticket and I'll go. And you don't really question certain things. But I wonder what happened that things didn't go right.
Well, I think based on what I saw and that what people were talking about, it just seems that the logistics just were not there. So nothing seemed to have been really set up, So one of the big complaints that a lot of people were making was that a lot of the stuff that they thought that was prepaid, that as part of their package, like transportation, wasn't actually included. So they were supposed to go to certain events, and then they're told that when they get there, they're like, okay, no, well, you can walk or you can pay a taxi. No, I'm serious.
That is insane. I mean, I hope we never get that.
So people were talking about, girls came out in their heels to go to a night event, and then they're like, okay, no, there's no transportation, so you got to walk there. So
that is nuts. And so now what? Is there any response from the?
They've actually put out an apology.
Okay.
Not taking into, not addressing a lot of the specific things, but just sort of giving a blanket statement saying that, they did apologize that things weren't up to standard, things didn't go as planned. Apparently, one of the organizers experienced some sort of loss in the family, who was supposed to be one of the main people. But of course, everybody's been saying as a response to that this trip, it was planned as a destination trip, all-inclusive weekend, whatever it was. It was supposed to have been planned for more than a year in advance. Some people bought their tickets months and months ago, so people are saying they don't understand how everything could have just fallen apart if one member of the team wasn't able to help. And speaking of it being a year in advance, the thing is that they had already started to advertise a trip for next year. And guess where they were going? They were going to Bali, Indonesia. So,
oh no, that's not going right.
So I think people are feeling a bit wary based on everything that's gone on this weekend, and there were Belizeans on the trip as well, I should say, and I know one or two who did went. So hopefully they'll be sharing their stories.
And they don't talk about getting their money back or refund or anything.
No, that's not been on the thing. Although I was telling my friend, because I was talking to a friend about this, I was like, for at least, I think that the Belizeans who went, they would have been at an advantage even if things went wrong, because at least, you know, we have a little bit more familiarity with the area.
Yeah.
Some of us have some, and some, of course, we have more exposure to the language, because that was another big thing. People are saying, well, they're stranded in Mexico, they don't know how to speak Spanish, and they don't know how to get, you know, how to get around, who to contact for certain things.
You know, I'm glad you brought that up, because like we don't even think about that. That must be so scary, especially if you're in a place where you paid for a package where you wouldn't have to deal with certain things. That is scary. I mean, I don't know the promoters or the organizers, but that is something to think about if you ever decide to plan an event again. Your name is smeared, you know, when you do those kinds of things. So I don't know what went wrong. I don't know why, but I mean, with culture, get your act together. But let's bring it back home to some events that don't go haywire, and that's KTV. You may watch KTV. I mean, you couldn't watch KTV. You've been gone for like a whole month. Did you ever catch any highlights?
Oh yeah, for sure. Because I'm keeping up online and looking at the things on everything on Facebook, and of course, you know, if you're also follow us on our social media pages, we do post clips of every single performance every week.
Yeah.
So that's how I've been keeping up as well.
So you have any favorites?
You know, they always, whenever I never want to give away favorites, but I will say that the competition is pretty tight.
Yes.
And you know, we like that. You know, week after week we see you know, I think the level keeps rising, and things get more competitive. So it's definitely been an enjoyable run so far.
Yeah.
And I haven't made it out to one of the live shows yet.
I haven't either. I think I'm gonna make it out for the finale, because it's going to be 3. It's down to the wire to 3 contestants now. There's going to be an elimination tonight, and then we're going to see the top 3 performances tonight. I know I have a favorite. Anna said I have a favorite though, but it's all based on your vote at home. So remember to cast your vote for your favorite so that you can keep them in the competition. I know when I look at the Facebook comments and so forth, everybody like, oh, my person gone, but if you vote for your person, they might just make it to stay in. So don't forget to vote for your favorite contestant. And tonight we're getting down to the wire. 3 more contestants tonight, and we'll see who gets the title for the KTV, the remix winner.
Absolutely.
But we hope we have motivated you this bright and early Tuesday. I'm asking Monday. Tuesday morning, and we get into our eye opener for today. And our eye opener is taken from dailyom.com, and it goes like this: allow yourself to be captivated and calmed by the energy of the wildlife that covers this earth. For better or worse, much of the world we experience is dominated and controlled by human beings. We spend our days in houses, cars, and buildings, and inside these structures we are in control. We assert our wills and manipulate our environment. Within the context of the human world, this is natural. However, we often carry this attitude with us into the world of nature. We forget as we enter the forest or sit on the edge of a pond that we are moving into another realm, one that asks us to drop our baggage and surrender to a different sense of order and meaning. We preserve pockets of nature in our urban centers and large expanses of nature in our national parks because of the magic we feel in its presence. It reminds us of our smallness and calls us back to a deeper, quieter part of ourselves. When we honor nature by being respectful in its presence, we honor the mystery and wild beauty of our origin. I like this. I'm a nature geek. I love nature trails. I love sitting by the river and just taking it all in and walking away from everyday noise that is in our society.
Oh yeah, absolutely. And this eye-opener definitely resonates with me, having just come back from a trail safari. You know, again, witnessing, you know, the whole circle of life thing, which is what I did, was really amazing, because, you know, speaking again, like I like that the eye opener touched on, you know, the whole like the vastness and the grandeur sometimes you can experience. So actually, like being out in, you know, the wilderness, observing, you know, huge animals, you know, elephants, giraffes, lions, and actually watching them do their thing. Because I mean, we were like in the we're in like the national park, like in the Serengeti. So like I remember at one point we actually got to see lions hunting. And then at other times you see, you know, so one of the amazing things, you get the sense of, you know, how much happens, you know, without us, without humans, and you know, and how nature, you know, really works, and you get the sense of how small you are, just like what the eye opener said. But even right here at home, you know, I like as well to be out in nature, as go on trails, hiking, seeing waterfalls and stuff like that. It's really amazing, and it can really, you know, put you, you know, center you or put you in peace, or at least it does that for me.
It does that for me as well, and I think I want to challenge our audience and to, you know, the next time you're in a trail or somewhere within the jungle or the rainforest or by a river, just like close your eyes for a second and just listen to everything that is around you. That nature, those animals, the trees, everything that is alive, and that makes you feel that connection to the earth, right? That makes you feel connection to the nature, that you are a part of this ecosystem. You are not separate. And I really love this eye-opener for that. It gives you a sense of calm, and it gives you a sense that you're not alone, even when you are alone.
Yeah.
So I really like this eye-opener. But we're gonna get moving into our show for this morning with the weather, and I hope, it was a very foggy drive this morning, so I really hope that the weather tells me that it's going to be very sunny. Good morning.
Good morning.
Good morning.
How are you, Francisca?
I'm doing great, thanks. How about you?
I am well and alive and hoping for some good news on the weather this morning.
Okay. So before I get into that, can I please alert drivers coming in from the west and the north?
Sure.
That parts of the highway is experiencing fog. So
yes,
please drive with care and attention.
I experienced that this morning and it was well foggy.
Okay. Right. So now for the weather. Yes, I have good news for you today.
Okay.
All right, so give us the general situation.
So we're having generally fair weather today, and that means we'll see lots of sunshine, we'll see a little bit of rainfall. So in English, what does that mean?
Isolated showers. I passed my test, I do better than John.
Okay, so we'll see that for today and tonight, and then the winds will be out of the east, southeast, very light, 5 to 10 knots, and that will produce slight seas. So that means 1 to 3 feet waves beyond the reef.
So, and our temperatures?
Yes, so it will be that kind of day where we will feel very warm and sometimes a little sticky. So we are seeing 89 along the coast today, 94 inland, 82 up in the Maya Mountains. Tonight, 81 along the coast, 73 inland, and 68 up in the Maya Mountains.
Okay. So yeah, it can be hot.
That's right. And sticky.
And sticky. So make sure you stay close to a fan, is what Francisca is saying.
Right,
and the outlook for Wednesday?
Okay, so we'll start out the same way Wednesday night, except that southern areas will see a little bit more shower activity during the nighttime.
Okay. And any warnings or updates for us?
Not at this time, except that for the sargassum, we've been saying that there is medium chance of more sargassum affecting our beaches.
Okay.
In terms of the tropics, quiet at this time.
Oh, that's good. Good news all around, Francisco.
That's right.
All right. Thank you so much. And we hope that you continue to bless us with good news as the week goes by.
Well, thank you, but I'm not too sure about that one.
I'll keep you updated as the day goes by.
Okay, then. Thank you.
Thank you. Have a good day, Francisca.
Thanks, and same to you guys.
Bye. Hot.
Yep.
Yeah, hot. Happy.
Yeah, that's true. I mean, it's already pretty warm here, actually.
Yeah.
I was noticing that even on the way here.
Yeah.
The sun is already pretty high in the sky.
No, well, I'm glad she mentioned the fog because I was driving this morning and it was already getting really, really foggy on my way here. And that, usually fog means that they're hot. Sometimes they're wrong, but usually it means that they're hot. But let's move on to our show for this morning. We have a nice packed Tuesday for us. In with us for our first conversation, we'll have the Social Security Board, and they were here a couple of weeks ago talking about the different financial services that SSB have to offer, and then they talked about Social Security Board Connect. Now they're going to be back in studio to talk to us about the SSB Connect and what all that entails, and so that should be our first conversation for this morning.
And our second conversation is going to be from a mompreneur, and if you don't know what that is, we're going to be learning all about it from Khadija Asales, and who's going to be telling us all about the Mompreneur tour, which is upcoming, and that's going to be our second conversation.
Nice. And our final conversation, how to become a young homeowner. Do you own a home, Gavin?
I do not.
I wish I owned a home too. In with us, we'll have Kansam Realty, and they'll talk to us all about how you can become a young homeowner, which I think is a valuable conversation for us these days.
Oh,
so
yeah.
I really look forward to having that conversation with Crystal Samos. So we have that jam-packed show for you this morning, but before we get into all of that, we're going to take our first break and we'll get back for more OIE, so stay tuned.
Keep still now.
Ouch.
I tell you no move.
Wow. You really can't get a mannequin for this, man? Really?
Well, son, if I never lend you the $2,000 to buy the kids' computer and the book, I may have the money for buy my mannequin.
It's definitely better to borrow from the bank than from your friends or relatives. This way, all you owe is money.
Would you like me to turn around?
That would be good. Turn on, turn on, turn on.
Take advantage of the back-to-school promotion currently being offered by the Belize Bank.
Applying for a Social Security sickness benefit? Here's what you need to know. A complete claims package include 1. Sickness claim form fully completed by the claimant and medical doctor. 2. Salaries record form completed by the employer or HR representative. 3. Proof of bank account such as bank book, online banking, or statement displaying your name and account number. To submit via email, you need to take a clear photo or scan of the documents and email to claims@socialsecurity.org.bz. Be sure to include your full name, social security number, and benefit type in the subject line of the email. Deadline to submit is 14 days from your first day of illness. All forms are available on the website at www.socialsecurity.org.bz. Social Security Board, safeguarding you, your family, your future.
Make your summer better. Over $35,000 in cash and prizes with Smart Summer Sweepstakes. Here's how you can enter for a chance to win. Purchase any device, sign up for a smart postpaid, broadband, or VoIP plan, use $50 or more regular prepaid credit, do a SIM swap, or text to the short code. You win 8946. And in the body of the message, enter the number of entries you would like to purchase. Each entry costs only 50 cents.
Don't waste any time. You can be the winner of weekly prizes starting July 1st. All methods give you more chances to win. Airline tickets, overnight stays at numerous resorts, cash prizes, gift certificates, and much, much more. One lucky person will win the grand prize of a $10,000 shopping spree courtesy Court and Smart.
Promotion ends September 16, 2022. So make your summer better by getting in the race to win with Smart Summer Sweepstakes. Smart, bringing people together.
Summer is coming to an end, so let's end it with a bang. Come see kids from all over the country while they take center stage to show off their talent on Open Your Eyes Summerfest 2022. That's right. Mark your calendars. Friday, August 26th at 6:30 a.m. at Channel 5 on Coney Drive. Come and start your morning right with kids singing and dancing. Also, come take advantage of great food, entertainment, and loads of back-to-school giveaways, including gifts for the first 100 kids who enter the fest. And the best thing of all, entrance is free. So, what are you waiting for? Set your alarm and pencil in that date because Summerfest 2022 is one event you don't want to miss.
Are you looking for low-cost television advertising? Have we got a deal for you? Advertise on Channel 5's Daily Classifieds. Channel 5's Daily Classifieds is one of the most effective methods for introducing yourself and your business to the community. Use our Daily Classifieds to recruit employees, promote specials, promote your products or services, promote a business opportunity, increase traffic to your website, and advertise items you have for sale. Let us help you to save valuable time and money. Call us today at 280-0013 or visit us at our offices on Coney Drive to discuss how we can help your business grow affordably. Channel 5's Daily Classifieds. Advertise today. Your Tuesday night entertainment is back. KTV The Remix Season 4. KTV. Come on out and win fabulous prizes and the chance to compete in our halftime challenge. Tickets are available at Channel 5 on Coney Drive at $3 for children and $5 for adults. Mask will be required. Or you can watch it live on Channel 5 or streaming on Facebook. The show starts at 8 p.m. at the Bliss Center for the Performing Arts. KTV The Remix Season 4. It's hot, it's live, and it's only on 5. KTV.
Dwayne Moody, Isani Cayetano, Marian Ali, Paul Lopez. Your News 5 police teams do whatever it takes. Go wherever they need to go, so you can catch the story wherever you are, whenever you want, on whatever device. Channel 5 believes on television, Facebook, Instagram, and YouTube, because news is now everywhere, all the time, and so are we.
And we're back. And if you're joining us right now, we're just getting our first conversation for the morning started. And as we mentioned before the break, we are joined by the Social Security Board, and they're going to be telling us all about the upcoming SSB Connect, and telling us all about what that is and what you can expect. And so joining us via Zoom to tell us all about this is Corporate Relations Officer from the Social Security Board, Moava Fuller. Good morning.
Hi, good morning. So I want to let you know that it's actually Moava.
Moava, okay.
Moava Fuller.
Yes, corrected. So I will not make that mistake again. How are you, Moava?
No, it's no problem. I was wondering if April was going to jump in and say, no, it's Moava.
I was going to say, and then you jump in, so like, you know what? That's fine. But yes, Moava, how are you?
I'm doing well. How about you guys?
We're doing pretty well.
We're doing pretty well, sipping my coffee still. But we're glad you had the time to talk to us a little bit about SSB Connect. We had some of your colleagues, I think a couple of weeks back, that mentioned that this was going to be something that was going to happen and something that was going to be available for the public. So talk to us about the event and why it's important that the public attend.
Definitely. So SSB Connect is just as the name indicates. It is a forum that allows SSB to engage, to interact, and to connect with the people that we serve through information sharing. So that's what we're going to be doing on that date, and that date is August 25th. That's this Thursday. We're going to be sharing information on our accomplishments and our achievements for 2021. We're going to be talking about our the financial report, what we've accomplished. That includes our investment portfolio. We're also going to be talking about the service enhancements we've made, what's coming next for the Social Security Board. In terms of the target audience, we are looking for anyone who wants to know more about their Social Security, because that's really what it is. Our Social Security is for the Belizean people. And so we're inviting employers, employees, even students, self-employed persons, essentially everyone who wants to know more about SSB, who wants to know what we do on a daily basis, who wants to know some of our functions, know more about our operational report, who also wants to know general questions. If you just want to know, how can I apply for my Social Security card? If you want to know, okay, how do I claim my maternity benefit? If you want to know, how can I get project financing? So the variety of questions, they extend, well, there's a wide spectrum that persons can come on over for that date and find out about what we have to offer and what we're doing for the Belizean people.
So is it going to be just a day of presentations, or are there going to be interactive activities? How is the setup going to look like?
All right, I like that question. So it's going to be a day of, the morning is going to be the presentation segment, but that in itself is going to be very interactive because we're having videos to keep the attention of those who are there. We're having live giveaways during that segment as well. And then when that ends at 12, we are going to jump right over into our information booths that we're having. And these information booths, they will run from 12 to 3 p.m. and they will be manned by Social Security experts in their fields who will be on the ground to provide responses and provide support to any Social Security questions that those in attendance may have. So this is really the forum for persons to make their way on over and to hear what we have to say and to ask their questions as well. It's no secret that we've been in the media a lot lately, and we're not trying to run from that. But when we were planning SSB Connect a few months ago, we knew that the people needed to hear from us. And it just so turns out that this forum has actually materialized for the 25th, and this is the space for persons to come and to know more about what it is that we're doing. For us to talk about what we've achieved through our operations report, for us to provide them with financial data on our performance, inclusive of the investments as well, and to talk about what's coming next.
Okay, and if I can't make it to the Biltmore, right? Like, I live in Belmopan, I can't make it to Belize City. Is there a way that I can register online and catch it online, or is it just in person?
Absolutely, and I love that question. You can connect to our Facebook page at SSB Belize, and it will be live streamed. So if you can't physically make it there, you'll still be able to be a part of that interactive day of information sharing by reviewing the live stream. So that will be available as well.
I want to kind of touch a little bit about what you said earlier when you were talking about planning this session for months in advance, right? So what were the ideas that were bouncing around to make SSB Connect possible? Before you guys were in the media, you guys were planning this. So what were the ideas then? What made all of you come together and decide this is what the people need at this moment?
Well, actually, this is going to be the third time we've held this event. It first started in 2018, and it was an overwhelming success. And we did it at the inception when we were talking about doing the contribution reform. So that was the first push for our very first SSB Connect, because again, people needed to hear from us. We needed to talk about the need for the reform. We needed to explain to them the period of equilibrium. We needed them to see that, listen, we can't be tapping into our reserves. We need to find a way to grow this fund. So we did it once again in 2019, and again, that was a success. So we had to take a pause due to COVID, and we are now back. And when we were in the planning phases, it was another situation whereby we need people to see how we are now performing post the reform. Because we did that. We did that in 2019. We did another increase in 2020, and then there was that hiatus. And then we did the last phase early 2022. So we need people to hear from us. And that was really just the driving force behind this, because like I said, SSB is not only for the employees of Social Security. We exist to provide coverage and support to the Belizean public. And once a year, we try to have this formal setting, but this time it's going to be a little bit more interactive for persons to get any information that they need. So the driving force is really just information sharing and publicizing that information from our annual report, from our operations report, and just to let people know that we are here, we are providing you with the service that you need, but you can still come on over and ask any other questions that you have.
So what's some of the general questions or the more formative questions that people come to ask about that you think will be necessary for the presentations, for instance?
I definitely think a big ticket item will be how much money we generated in 2021. So we have that as well. How much we paid out in terms of benefits, whether that be for the short-term branch, the employment injury branch, or the long-term branch, specifically pensions. That's what people are very concerned about, retirement pension. So we anticipate those type of questions. And we can't shy away from the fact that we anticipate that we will be asked questions about our investment portfolio. And we welcome those questions because we need our public and we need our Belizean supporters to understand that it is important for Social Security to invest, because we can't just, if we have to tap into our reserves, we are running into issues. We have to invest the money because what we are garnering from the collection of contributions, it is not enough to pay lifetime retirement pensions. So we need to generate more income, and we do that through investments. So I definitely think we're gonna be getting questions on our investment portfolio, how much we collected, how much we're paying out. Those are, I think, are gonna be the big ticket items.
And you said that this has SSB Connect was launched in 2018. So
yes.
How is this year's one going to be unique or special, and so you know, how was that?
All right, so the previous ones that we've held, they weren't necessarily open to the general public, whereas this one is. So that's the first difference. The second difference is that we will be having the information booths that we've never had at the other events, because we want to make it as engaging and as informative as it can be. Because let's be realistic, people don't really want to sit through hours of just hearing about numbers. And in order for you to captivate your audience, we have to make it engaging and interactive. So that's the different approach that we're taking this year. We are incorporating that engagement aspect. We are incorporating that audience discussion. We're going to be having also the question and answer forum, where we have our SSB experts in their area respond to the questions that people have. So it's going to be a good one. We are confident about that.
I wanted to tap into certain conversations. So when it comes to what they're going to be doing in terms of interactive activities, would it be something like showing them how to set up their Social Security account online, registration? What falls into those categories of interaction?
Yes. All right. So I love that you're coming with this line of questioning, April. I love it very much. So that is definitely going to be a part of today's activities. For the afternoon segment, we will be having live demos, and we're also going to be helping people sign up for their My Social Security self-service portal account, which, as persons may know from our ads, it is truly your personalized account to all your Social Security information. Yeah. We're also going to be having displays of what's coming next. That's going to be the employer portal that will allow employers to pay their contributions and upload their statements online. But this also includes self-employed persons, because our current employer portal, it doesn't have the capability for self-employed persons to make their payments online. And that is really, that's a matter that tends to bug the self-employed a bit, because they don't want to go through the lines. Yeah. So we're going to be having demos on that as well. And we also will be having a demo of our, of what's coming next in terms of our sickness benefit portal. So there will be visuals there as well. Yeah. Our IT team will be on the ground to assist, and our SSB experts in registration from our branch offices will be there to help people sign up for their My Social Security self-service portal account.
Wow.
Take a bigger rush, step ahead and sign up. So if you guys can make it on over, please come.
I mean, it all sounds great, right? But like the last time I tried anything online for anything, not just Social Security, it kind of didn't end well. So let's talk about some hiccups that customers can be able to get through. So, you know, let's say I lose my Social Security. Is that something that I can do, re-register with online, or is that something that I have to go into the office for? Is it something that if I'm a new Social Security card owner, is that something that I can also do online? Are these the questions that you think will be asked at the SSB Connect?
Yeah, I definitely think so, but I'm confident that the team on the ground will be able to address all of them. But for those persons watching the feed, you can begin the process online with your Social Security self-service portal account. So you'll be able to create the account. You'll be contacted to verify your identity. You then log back into the account, and you are able to indicate the reason that you need the card replacement, and you can schedule your appointment at the Social Security office. So you can start the process online, but in terms of finishing the process to have your photograph taken and your signature captured, you'd have to visit the office to get that done. But you're going with an appointment, so you don't have that, you won't have any delays, you won't have any turnaround or any confusion. You booked your appointment online, so when you get to the office, you're getting yourself sorted out and you're done in about 15 to 20 minutes.
Oh, that shave off like a good 2 hours on my life. That's
yeah, definitely. We're all about making things easier for the people that we serve.
Okay. I think that one of the things that people are more so concerned about was the COVID hiccup when it comes to, you know, certain people that went through cuts, pay cuts and so forth, and how SSB was able to continue generating funds for them and those people that are expecting that pension at the end of their tenure, right? So how does SSB plan to answer some of those questions and so on?
SSB plans to answer those questions by talking to you about the performance of our investment portfolio. That's how we're going to be paying those retirement pensions.
I know you're not the person to ask, but I ask because I know that when you're talking to opening it up to the public, I would imagine that those are some of the questions and the issues and the problems that people were facing. But I want to ask more so about how the lining of presentations is going to go. So is it going to be presentation and then activity, presentation and then activity, or just one set of forums along the way of the day?
Well, I actually have the agenda here, so that could actually make it
easier for me. Yes, thank you.
Yes. So let me tell you what's going to happen, okay? So we're going to have an introduction video that's essentially just a highlight of what it is that we do at SSB. Then we're going to have an operations report video. This will be done by our general manager for service management. She's going to discuss the accomplishments and the achievements that her team made in 2021. We will have our financial review done by our finance general manager, Mr. Leo Vasquez. And then he will also touch a bit on the investment portfolio and share that information for our stakeholders. We are going to have our actuary at the event, that's Mr. Montaz. So he will be there as well to tackle those tough questions that people may have when they come and say, okay, well, you just get up contribution, so wait, how much longer now we have to wait till it go up again? What are some of the amendments or the adjustments that you intend to make to keep the fund sustainable? So Mr. Montaz will be there. As I've said, he's our actuary to provide a report on our actuarial performance and what persons can expect from us in the next few years. Our CEO will be there in attendance as well to provide some remarks. And we have the question and answer segment that will end the session. But in between those videos, we are having giveaways for those in attendance. And not to talk a little too much, but I'm sure those attending are going to love the packages that we've prepared in the giveaways. As a little sneak peek, we have some Belizean flavors and some Belizean items in the gift bag. So
okay, so what do I do to get a gift bag?
You just show up.
Oh, I think
show
I should.
Up,
I think
show up.
so.
Take some time out to be there.
You should have started with that,
right? All you had to say that we have like free thing, and of course people naturally going.
That is really the Belizean in all the way, right?
So, Moeva, tell us, okay, once again, where is it, time, all of that, how long it's going to last, and how do we have to register?
All right, so it's going to happen this Thursday, that's August 25th, at the Biltmore Plaza. It is starting at 9:30 a.m. and the first half will end at 12, and immediately after, we jump into the information booths, and those will run from 12 to 3 p.m. We have light refreshments as well, and if you are interested, you can send us a message at our WhatsApp number. I believe it's 639-5745, or you can send us an email at info, that's info@socialsecurity.org.bc. So please RSVP before today is out so that we can ensure that we have everything that you need and make accommodations for you. Once again, I would like to invite all Belizeans to make their way on over to the Biltmore, okay? We want to strengthen the connections with our stakeholders, and we want to welcome and encourage constructive criticism and feedback, constructive dialogue. So SSB Connect really is the forum for you. So make your way on over.
SSB Connect. I did want to, I know that you're another person for us because I know you really have relations, but is there, when it comes to the booths, what can we expect from the booths?
Okay, so the booths, they're going to be having giveaways as well. They're going to be providing you with information on social security functions, and they're also going to be helping you sign up for your portal account.
Okay, so and that could just be, and that's going to be all afternoon, right? So it doesn't matter how many people are there, they're going to be recurring. Okay.
We start at 12 and we wrap up at 3, but I mean, if we get a lot of people that pop on over around 2, then we'll do our best to accommodate those persons and sort them out as well. So in addition to that, our investments team will also have a booth there, and they're going to be talking about how you can know more about investments and also project financing. So we're having booths on our core functions. Those are registration, contributions, benefits, and investments.
And so people can get like direct answers to any questions they may have about any particular thing at the booth.
Yes.
Right.
Yes.
Moeva, is there anything that we not talk about yet? I don't ask you nothing yet. Tell me.
No, I really think we've covered it all, and I hope that those watching this feed will send us an email or a WhatsApp message really, really quickly to say, you know what, I'm coming to this event.
Okay, you want to repeat the email address and the WhatsApp number?
Sure. The email address is info, that's info @socialsecurity.org.bz, and our WhatsApp number is 639, that is 5745. If you go on our Facebook page at SSB Belize, you can send us a messenger message as well.
Is there an events page anywhere on social media?
Yes, it's right on our Facebook page.
Okay. So we could just register. No, we could just check out more details on that page. Yes.
You can find details there, and you can also send us a message, and then we'll pick it up on our end and reach out to you just so we can book that RSVP.
I mean, you're opening it to the public, but I also know Biltmore have limited space. So where is it in the Biltmore it's going to be exactly?
It's going to be, I believe it's upstairs. I don't quite remember the room at this point in time, but we have space. They don't have to worry. We have space.
All right. So every and anybody could come. I could bring everybody.
Yes, but we do ask that you RSVP. That's where the RSVP comes in so handy. Just shoot us a message and let us know that you're coming.
RSVP so that you could have a giveaway is what Moeva is saying.
Yeah, right.
There could be a gift bag for you if you RSVP.
Well, you know what? If that's what works, forget that's over. Yes,
well,
yes.
It's true because, like we say, like free thing. We also like a raffle or something like that. So I mean,
it works. It will work.
I'm sure. So I'm sure you got some of our viewers who are listening. You convinced a few of them, I'm sure.
I 100% agree. Moeva, thank you so much for dropping by this morning.
Thank you too for having me. You guys have a great day.
All right. With that, we're going to get into our Phoenix boutique. Okay. With that, we're going to take another break. But before we do, we need to have a few more housekeeping to do. So when we talk about SSB Connect, right? I don't necessarily know my ins and outs. So I don't know how much a person has to necessarily be able to make in order to pay X amount of money for SSB, for your social security, sorry. I'm not sure if those are questions that you all have at home. That those are definitely questions that I have for myself. And so if you are that person that has those questions for Social Security, head on over to the Biltmore Hotel in Belize City on August 25th at 9:30 a.m. Make sure you RSVP at info@Social Security. Don't forget the email address. We'll have that for you, but it's going to be on our social media pages. And of course, go on to Social Security Board Facebook to check more information about that, and so that they're able to RSVP, register you in, and then you get that gift back.
Yeah, and of course, they're there to answer any questions that you might have. It's going to be an all-day informative session. There'll be presentations, there'll be booths. So that is going to be coming up this Thursday. So make sure that you want to go and if you want to get your questions answered, and if you want to learn any information about the Social Security Board and the work that they do.
All right, and with that, we're going to get into our next break. And when we get back, we'll have more Open Your Eyes, so stay tuned.
Technology is ubiquitous, and it's transforming how, when, and where we work. Fulltech Systems is placing award-winning devices in the hands of information workers, allowing them to work without compromise in a world without wires, to innovate, create, and to maximize productivity anytime, anywhere, satisfying the needs of the desk-centric remote and field worker and every other worker in between. We are providing the industry's best devices to businesses going through the process of digital transformation. Partner with us today to provide the solutions that will allow your employees to work effectively and efficiently to enhance your customers' experience. Fulltech Systems, your technology center, where you'll come for the price, but stay for the service.
I'm on my way to Benny's, where I can get what I need and save some money. After 75 years in the business, nobody do it like Benny's. Hello, how may I help you? Anything you need, we got you. Whether it tools or tiles, lights and fans, we are serving with a smile. Genuine plumbing and electric supply, quality construction supply, heating and air condition, 100% Belizean. Benny's, celebrating 75 years. Quality and savings. Quality and savings. Benny's, celebrating 75 years. Quality and savings. Quality and savings. Benny's, celebrating 75 years. Quality and savings. Quality and savings.
Hi, I'm Chef Sean Quillen. I love cooked fish fillet, and I prefer to get my fish straight at the fish market right here at Conchel Bay. But you see, sometimes you come out here and you don't know what you're getting. The fish has no label, it has no patch of skin. But don't worry about it. I am here today to teach you how to avoid fish fraud. When purchasing your fillet, remember to look out for the patch of skin required by law. Or you could tell them by the physical characteristics: long and slender, barracuda, nice white meat, hagfish, the deep bloodline from the bow to the stand, that is jack. When buying in bulk or buying out of a bag, make sure to inspect each fillet individually to avoid what we call in a Creole, pussy in a bag. What a pussy in a bag? Fraud. If that's not the help you, because even for me as a professional chef at this man for 40 years, that's really challenging. All I could tell you is buy from a reputable source or buy it whole. And if all of that's not available to you, just go to fishrighteatright.com And we at Oceana have a fish identification chart. Because guess where you're going here now? We talk about bloodline just now one thing. And that's a snapper, right? Classic snapper. What kind of snapper this?
This is nurse shark.
Nurse shark. Highly illegal. No make they trick you. No make you buy pussy in a bag. Do the right thing. Fish right. Eat right.
Summer is coming to an end, so let's end it with a bang. Come see kids from all over the country while they take center stage to show off their talent on Open Your Eyes Summerfest 2022. That's right. Mark your calendars Friday, August 26th at 6:30 a.m. at Channel 5 on Coney Drive. Come and start your morning right with kids singing and dancing. Also, come take advantage of great food, entertainment, and loads of back-to-school giveaways, including gifts for the first 100 kids who enter the fest. And the best thing of all, entrance is free. So, what are you waiting for? Set your alarm and pencil in that date because Summerfest 2022 is one event you don't want to miss.
And we are back. We are back with our second conversation for this morning. And of course, you can see that we have Khadija here in studio, all here to talk about the momtrepreneur. You have to explain to me how you got that merge. But yes, Khadija, tell us about what Momtrepreneur is and the upcoming tour.
Sure. So Mompreneur is basically an entrepreneur. That's a mother. That's what I am. A mom of 3, and I have my business as well.
Okay. And what inspired you to do this?
So summer break started like in June, and since then I have been so busy with work. You know, we had plans for the summer, and I ended up doing the Wildlife program, which I was talking about here the other day. And after I got back from Wildlife, it was straight into creating the Belize City space. So at the end of that, I realized that there was only 2 weeks left and school was going to be starting. So I decided to take my kids on a Mompreneur summer tour. And the idea of it was to really enjoy Belize. And we had plans to travel. Like, I wanted to bring them to Peru. I wanted to bring them also to Habitenango in Guatemala. But I also decided that it would be good to show my kids that we don't have to travel far to, you know, have 5-class experiences in our own country.
So tell us about what encompasses this Momtrepreneur tour then. So what are we going to be expecting?
Sure. So we did the tour already. And how we came up with the places for the tour was that before I went to the Wildlife program, I asked my kids to write and do a little bit of research and tell me like what are the key places in Belize that they would like to visit. They had no idea at the time that I was planning after I got back to take them to all these places, but they did research, and they chose Victoria House in San Pedro, Hamanasi in Hopkins, and then Chaw Creek in Cayo.
Okay, so on the north, south, west.
Yeah, we were all over.
Okay, and you say Momtrepreneur. So what does that really mean? Is it because you are a mother and you're taking your kids on a tour, or is it encompassing like different businesses as well?
What it really means is that I'm an entrepreneur, and you know, entrepreneurship is very, very time consuming, and I'm a mom. So Mompreneur, it's like mixing motherhood with entrepreneur. That's how that word came about.
Okay.
And you know, and for some of our viewers who like may not know, can you tell us a little bit more about your story and your business and how you got started?
Sure, I got started a little bit over 12 years ago. I started out very, very small in my home. I started making jewelry at my kitchen table. And I always say this, but people look at my business now, it's kind of popular, you know, for Belize and...
Kinda, you know, she's selling shot.
You know, a lot of people know about the business, but it didn't start out like this, right? You're looking at many, many sleepless nights, like fingers literally bleeding, a lot of pinches and cuts, like a lot of overtime work. Yeah, and we now have starting from working at my kitchen table, we now have 3 stores, one in Placencia, one in Key Cocker, and one in San Ignacio. And we're about to open a store in Belize City.
So the Mompreneur Tour, is this something that you welcomed other moms that are entrepreneurs, or is it just something that was you and your family?
For this particular one, it was just me and my family, but I love the idea of gathering other mothers that are entrepreneurs and doing a tour, like a whole big family tour in the future.
Have you found that like there's let's say resources or outlets for people like maybe moms or other, you know, business owners to sort of connect and do like things that would, and if not, do you think it would be like beneficial to have?
Absolutely, I think that's a great question. I don't really know of any that's available, but I think it would be good for us, the mompreneurs, to create like some kind of network, because I mean, I know like a lot of small businesses like Sangria Mia, and I follow their businesses on social media, and that's how I get to see that they are moms as well, and then I connect with them through social media. But I think it would be cool to have like a network of mompreneurs.
What advice do you have for, you know, upcoming women that are moms that want to start a small business and they think, oh, well, I have kids, so I can't really do this right now?
Well, I feel like if anybody could do it, if I could do it, anyone could do it. I would say that you shouldn't allow for kids to get in the way of starting your own business, because I mean, there are working moms. You can manage motherhood while working a 9-to-5. You could definitely manage motherhood while having your own business. I think that it's very important to take time to spend with your children, because entrepreneurship can be super overwhelming. Like I said, it's very time consuming. Exactly, you're working around the clock. When you're working a 9-to-5, you start at 9 or 8, you clock off, and then that's it. But when you're an entrepreneur, you're literally working around the clock. So it's hard to create that balance, that harmony, and it's important to like plan and set time aside to be with the children. And that was what we wanted to accomplish in the Mompreneur Tour.
How long did it take you to do the entire tour?
We spent 3 to 4 days at each place. So we started out at Victoria House in San Pedro, and then we moved south to Hamanasi in Hopkins, and then after that we went to Chaw Creek. Unfortunately, the Chaw Creek tour got cut a little bit short because school happened, but we definitely plan on going back.
And what are some of like the highlights or memories from the tour that you know stick out to you?
Sure. So like each resort had amazingly unique features. Chaw Creek, one of the things they did once we got there, and we got to stay at the Excel Villas at Chaw Creek. That is like the epitome of luxury. I've never experienced that type of luxury anywhere in Belize or in the world, actually. So once we got to Chaw Creek, the kids, like once they saw the place, we were all just like left speechless, right? It was super nice.
Was it your first time as well?
No, it wasn't my first time. So I had been before with my daughter, and then my other daughter wanted to experience it. And so once we got to Chaw Creek, they gave us this little container with like a little cocoon in there, and we got to see the butterfly hatch. And then Chaw Creek has this nice little feature where they have you read a poem and then let the butterfly out. So that's something that really stood out. And then we also got like a private hudut making class in their open heart kitchen. That was super excited. So my kids got to make hudut and darasa, garifuna dishes from start to finish, and then we got to enjoy the meal.
They made it pong the mortar with the...
Yes, they were grating the green banana, pounding, like making coconut milk. It was super fun.
But I wanted to like go back to something that you were talking about earlier, and that's just about, you know, the let's say the difficulties that there can be with, let's say, time management when you're an entrepreneur, especially like taking time to go on vacations and spend time, quality time with your family. Can you talk a bit about like your process and how, you know, you manage time to make sure that you balance everything?
Sure, that has been so difficult for me, like managing time, but I spoke about it in my last interview here about something very valuable that I learned through Wildlife. And it was about a book that I read, recommended by Ed Boulois from Bravo Motors. And he recommended me to this book called Who, Not How, which it's all about finding people to help you. Like, we've been conditioned as a society, whenever we have problems or if we have a lot of tasks on hand, we ask ourselves like, how can I get this done? But instead of asking, there's like a mindset shift that happens. And you ask yourself, who are the right people to help you with this? Then that frees up so much more of your time. And since I got back from Wildlife, that's basically what I did. Like I told you, I hired an operations manager, and she's been basically taking care of like most of the nitty-gritty, like getting things structured and in order. And so then that has enabled me to have like a lot more free time to take time for myself, time with my kids. So that's how I've been managing it. Like, I've been getting people to help me with everything that I need to get done.
You ever had a moment or time when you felt that you're not giving enough to your kids, that you are constantly working, and then you strike a moment where like, I haven't seen my kids in a few days, right? Like, well, I mean, I'm not literally, but
no,
right,
literally.
Okay, literally. So then, how do you manage that?
It's definitely very difficult. I feel like as a mom, it's easy to look at the things. I mean, as humans in general, it's easier to look at our flaws than to celebrate our wins and look at what we're doing right. So I've had like days and weeks where I've been just busy working. Like I've had to travel to the Placencia store, to Kikaker, and I don't get to see my kids every day. So that definitely leaves you with like a guilt trip. But what I try to do is I just try to plan it out in my planner, like have non-negotiable days that I will spend time with them, and that's how I'm able to balance it.
Now that school is back in session, right? You're going back face to face. How are you handling that with running your businesses and your franchise?
Yeah.
I mean, it's not just the one, right?
It's definitely going to be a challenge. So my girls actually started going to SCA this week, so they're in high school. Like, time has flown so fast. My son started elementary, so I'm actually finding now, it's only been one day, but I'm finding that it's easier to have a routine when they're like in school, because then I could drop them off at school, I could go to the gym, and then I could go home and have some time to be able to create. Yeah,
because when they were in, didn't you feel like that was a balance as well when they were doing online learning, or no?
Yeah, when they were doing online learning, it was literally impossible because I had to be there helping them like with their online, so I couldn't really be creating like I wanted to. And then they're like all in different grades, so it was super difficult to balance.
I could imagine. I could only imagine. But now that they had that experience with you being at home during COVID, having that online learning, watching their mom run businesses, do your kids now feel that maybe that is something that they would like to do? Is that a route that they would like to take? Yeah,
both of my daughters are interested in entrepreneurship. They're always asking to help out how they can. Whenever I have shows, they want to be there greeting customers. They want to be taking the credit card and swiping. Like, that makes them feel super useful, and I definitely see that they want to follow in my footsteps. And that's something that, like, I'm happy that they're doing that, but it's also their choice. Like, I'm not trying to impose any kind of, and I'm not imposing anything on them.
Do they ask you questions like that though, like how you do it and how you got started and so forth?
Yeah, well, they were born into like seeing me be an entrepreneur, so they've seen me like working all around the clock, and they understand what the lifestyle is like. But they do ask me questions because they see employees come and go. They see like all the challenges that I face, and they ask a lot of questions, and they're super open to learning.
What advice do you have for your moms that are in that same situation like you, where I am maintaining myself, I'm maintaining my kids, I'm maintaining my businesses, and my kids are looking up to me, and I don't know how to advise them?
I would say, what I always say is like, just follow your intuition. Like, the best advice I think to give to moms that have kids is to lead basically by example, because it's easy to like tell the kids do this and do that, and it's easy to talk the talk, but I feel like kids they go by what they see, not by what they hear. So I think that it's important to, instead of telling them like it's important to work hard, it's more important to like work smart and have them see that.
Yeah. So back to the Mompreneur tour. I don't know anymore. So you for next year, do you plan on expanding your network? And is there any you want to use the platform to ask moms to come on your tour with you?
Yeah, I want more mothers to join in. I think it would be a lot more fun if there are other moms with children so that the kids can play together. Because as much as my kids love being around me, sometimes it gets like a little bit boring when we're on a tour and they're just like, they're always with each other, you know. So it would be nice to have other moms involved. And I'm super grateful to like the resorts like Victoria House, Hamanasi, and Chalk Creek for being so like open to our idea. And like we had planned to go to these places just to relax and chill out, but they all planned like super fun itineraries for us. We went on safari tour, we did the cooking class, and then Hamanasi hooked us up with a trip to Antelope Falls, which I didn't know about. Like I'd heard about that previously, but I hadn't done that hike before. And one of the guides told us that we were the first Belizeans to do that hike with them as a guided tour, and I was just...
Where is that?
That one is south at the Mayflower Bokawina National Park.
Okay.
Yeah, so it was a very, it was a kind of strenuous hike. There were like 3 levels. The 3rd level was like going up, like super crazy terrain. We had to pass through a lot of roots. We had to be holding on to a rope, but my 4-year-old son Azar did it, so I think anybody can do it. Their guides were super helpful, and it was like one of the most amazing experiences I've had in Belize, and I would definitely like to encourage more Belizeans to get out and just enjoy what we have in our own country.
I've done that trail, not with a tour company, but I've done that trail, and so if your 4-year-old could do it, then I feel like I have to go back and prove myself something, because it's very strenuous. But is there anything else that you think your kids got out of this experience?
I think that they got a lot. They got so much out of the experience. At Hamanasi, we also got to do like a garden tour. So they are a garden to table type resort. So they grow a lot of their own food, and we're big into that. Like at home, we have gardens. We grow a lot of our own fruit, and we do a lot of composting. So at Hamanasi, we got to see like composting on a much bigger scale, and my kids found that very, very interesting. Yeah.
And we know you said that you have the different branches of your store, and you're opening a Belize City soon. Anything else new that we can expect in the let's say this year or next year?
Good question. So I'm planning on doing like a lot of, or a few to start, jewelry making workshops. That's something that I haven't quite, like I've done small little workshops before, but I would like to get more women involved, and I would like to get, inspire more women to get into entrepreneurship. So I'm planning on scheduling maybe like 3 workshops for next year, and have it be open to maybe single mothers, maybe women that are unemployed, or even women that are unemployed that want to get into jewelry making as a hobby. Yeah.
And so we can expect those workshops within this year and next year?
Yes, I'm probably going to be starting next year because we're super busy getting the Belize City store like open and running.
Are you going to tell us when you're going to?
We don't have an exact date yet, but it's going to be before Christmas, and it's going to be on Eve Street.
Okay, so it's right in the center.
Yeah.
All right. Well, Kadisha, you know what? We always love having you here, and we hope that when you have your grand opening that you invite us to come and see.
Sure thing.
Any last words for our viewers?
Yes, I would like to mention that Chalk Creek has a Belizean package that they're offering right now. So a lot of times we look at these resorts and we feel like maybe they're too expensive, or maybe it's like not within our budget. But Chalk Creek has a super affordable package for Belizeans where you get to enjoy their infinity pool, have lunch at their restaurant, and then either go horseback riding or on a safari tour. So I would definitely encourage Belizeans to take advantage of that.
What's a safari tour?
So it's where you...
I know, because I heard you mention it before, and I had that in the back of my mind to ask what's a safari tour?
So Chalk Creek it's on 400 acres, right? So they have like a lot of trails. You go in an RTV, and then you get to go on your trails and see animals in the wild, like howler monkeys. You get to see snakes, just like all the animals that are out there. So it's like about an hour in length, and you're just like immersed in the jungle.
Okay, final question, Kaj. September celebrations is rolling around. Is there any event that we can see Kaj Expressions attend?
We are going to be attending the expo, which is something that we always do. We're looking forward to that. We've been preparing for months, so people can look forward to seeing a lot of awesome new designs at the expo this year.
That's the one at the Marion Jones Stadium at September 17th.
Yeah.
All right. Well, Kaj, thank you so much for coming by.
Thank you
Momtrepreneurs everywhere. Mompreneurs, you know what? I'm done. Mompreneurs everywhere can hook up with Khadija to see more of how you can be involved with the Mompreneur Tour, hopefully for next summer. So it'll be something nice for you guys to market on.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to it, and it's a way to like showcase what Belize has to offer as well.
Love it. With that, we're going to take a next break, and we'll be back with our final conversation. So stay tuned.
I'm always on the go, and the country is my home. So when I want to get away from it all, I immerse myself with my favorite movies, all from the new Smart Stream app. It's easy to use this service. Purchase your movies from the app and use your mobile data, Smart Stream data packages, or smart broadband to stream and enjoy. Be like me and stream on the go with Smart Stream.
Galenia Hospital, located in Cancun, Mexico's premier tourism destination, is a state-of-the-art healthcare facility that provides highly specialized medical services. We are Quintana Roo's biggest private hospital with board-certified doctors and staff. Some of our services include Cath Lab, Adult Intensive Care Unit, Neonatal Intensive Care Unit, emergency rooms, operating theaters, ambulance services, and more. We are a medically accredited hospital by JCI, Accreditation Canada International, and General Health Council, providing extraordinary care in every specialty, from our cardiology department to our neurology center. We are focused on treating the entire person, body, mind, and spirit. Contact us at medicaltourism@hospitalgalenia.com or visit our website at www.hospitalgalenia.com. Come to Galenia Hospital in Cancun for a truly personal medical care experience.
Your life just got a lot less complicated with Belize Bank Contactless MasterCard Debit Card. Introducing our Standard Debit and MasterCard Platinum Debit Cards. Now you can make purchases anywhere MasterCard is accepted with one tap, pay and go. Your contactless card never has to leave your hands, especially in these times. And your card is embedded with multiple layers of security. Platinum card holders get to enjoy extra benefits like price protection, purchase protection, trip inconvenience, and luggage protection, just to name a few. Start enjoying a cashless lifestyle today with the Belize Bank.
summer is coming to an end, so let's end it with a bang. Come see kids from all over the country while they take center stage to show off their talent on Open Your Eyes Summerfest 2022. That's right. Mark your calendars Friday, August 26th at 6:30 a.m. at Channel 5 on Coney Drive. Come and start your morning right with kids singing and dancing. Also, come take advantage of great food, entertainment, and loads of back-to-school giveaways, including gifts for the first 100 kids who enter the fest. And the best thing of all, entrance is free. So, what are you waiting for? Set your alarm and pencil in that date because Summerfest 2022 is one event you don't want to miss.
Your Tuesday night entertainment is back. KTV The Remix Season 4. KTV. Come on out and win fabulous prizes and the chance to compete in our halftime challenge. Tickets are available at Channel 5 on Coney Drive at $3 for children and $5 for adults. Mask will be required. Or you can watch it live on Channel 5 or streaming on Facebook. The show starts at 8 p.m. at the Bliss Center for the Performing Arts. KTV The Remix Season 4. It's hot, it's live, and it's only on 5.
Dwayne Moody, Sonic Lopez. Your News 5 police teams do whatever it takes, go wherever they need to go, so you can catch the story wherever you are, whenever you want, on whatever device. Channel 5 believes on television, Facebook, Instagram, and YouTube, because news is now everywhere, all the time, and so are we.
We are back with our final conversation for this morning. Joining us in studio, we have Crystal Samos, who is one of the co-owners of CanSam Realty, all to talk to us about young homeowners and what you can do to be a young homeowner. Good morning.
Good morning.
Good morning. Thank you so much for having me.
Thank you so much for being here. I think that this is a very important conversation for, people of our generation who are still living at home, but they have their jobs, but can't afford rent and can't afford a home.
Correct.
So let's talk to us about what you're doing differently at CanSam Realty.
Okay, something that we're doing differently really is, like you said, we young people right now have such a hard time, whether it's renting or owning a home. So one of the good things when working with CanSam, because we work with a financial and professional finance coach, before you decide, okay, I want to rent, I want to get a mortgage, let's talk about your finances and where you stand. And if you're able to afford that now, or if we need to make a plan to get you there to that space or position to where you can apply for a mortgage or start to rent on your own.
That's the question, right? Oh, sorry.
No, I was just going to say that that's interesting because do you find that, based on your experience, that people have had that sort of advice before, or they know what they're getting into when they go on to think?
I myself, when I applied for my mortgage, right, it was just kind of like everywhere. You don't really have anyone to sit you down and say, okay, this is what you should have in place before applying for a mortgage, and this is what happens when you apply for a mortgage, and really, because it really boils down to your finances, really and truly. That is what it boils down to. So having that advice prior to making that big decision, because also, like I was saying earlier, it's something that you want to be able to enjoy. But if you're not knowledgeable of what it means to have a mortgage or going into a mortgage, it becomes an experience that's very unpleasant. You're very stressed, very unhappy, and owning a home is something that everyone wants, especially us young people. But when we get to that, it's like, why did I want this? You know what I mean? So definitely having that advice and someone to sit you down and discuss and put you, like I said, in a position where you understand really what it means to have a mortgage and how to get there and make a plan
is definitely the best advice I could give anyone who's looking forward to that.
So that's the key word right there. You mentioned afford, right?
Correct.
So if you have a stable income, you should be able to afford a mortgage or to rent.
Correct.
But that will come with certain sacrifices, right?
Yes.
So for a single person who wants to own a home, more than likely can't.
Correct.
Right?
It's a little bit more, I would maybe difficult. Because I remember when I was single and I tried applying for a mortgage alone, the first thing the loan officer said, are you married? Especially us women, right? It's like, okay, so who is there to back you up and to support you, basically, right? So definitely for people who are trying to do it alone, the process is different. It's very different. But again, once you have someone advising you from the start, then it becomes a little bit more enjoyable and pleasant experience. And also when you get it, you're ready for it and you're able to enjoy it. Because you get a mortgage, you sit there and then you're not able to do anything else but pay your mortgage, right? And that's something that most of us struggle with. Okay, we finally get the home that we always wanted or dreamed of, and now we're sitting in this house and that's all we have or can do, which is not living.
Right.
It shouldn't be that.
And you know, when people are looking to buy their first home, there's a lot of factors that are involved that go into, you know, the affordability, you know, location being one of the biggest ones. How do you, let's say, work with somebody who is like the first time and perhaps they're not knowledgeable about these things? How do you take them step by step through the process?
Again, once we're able to, you know, identify what to afford. Also, another big advice is, okay, you need to go to a lending institution and then get pre-approved. Because we could look at 10 houses, but when you go to a lending institution, they're the ones who give you the bottom line of this is what we're able to lend you so you can purchase. So the first thing they need to do is I always advise them, go to whatever lending institution you work with, whether it's a bank, credit union, and get pre-approved. Once we have that number to work with, then we go from there. Then we look at, okay, this is what you're able to afford. Then we look at, you know, the best areas that could afford that amount that the bank or the lending institution is giving them.
Okay. So let's talk about Kansam Realty and what you all offer at the place. Tell us about how you take in first-time owners, and tell us about how you are able to link them with their proper financial institution, link them with the proper procedures and so forth, because that is essentially what you do, and how you link them with the proper properties.
Okay. So here at Kansam, what we do is property management and real estate. The property management is if you have a home that you want someone to rent out for you or manage, because you know, a lot of owners, especially if it's huge apartment buildings or vacation rentals, owners don't want to deal with that stress of dealing with tenants and screening tenants and looking for someone to fit their property. So that's the property management side of it. We do rentals, vacations, home, and so forth. Then the real estate side is, like you said, you want to buy or sell real estate, which would be properties or homes. Like I said, someone comes, they said, I want to own a home. I want to purchase a piece of land. I want to, you know, have the house of my dreams. Again, what institution are you working with? That's my first question. Have you been pre-approved? Who are you banking with? If they say no, they haven't been to any lending institutions to get pre-approved, that's my first step, like I said. That, and okay, let's talk also about what you can afford with the financial coach, right? Because again, we want them to be able to enjoy the experience. So let's look at your finances first, where you stand. Also, because it's so important, you get a mortgage, you don't have savings, you lose your job, and then what happens? The bank takes away something that you worked so much and so hard for. So, okay, let's have this amount of money in your savings, in an account, saved for any emergency that happens along the way after you own your home. You get sick, like I said, you lose your job. You need a minimum of 6 months of your mortgage in a savings saved for any emergency, right? So like I said, there's a lot of little, you know, things that we discuss along the way to ensure that when you get to that the pre-approved, okay, I'm ready to buy a home, you're good to go. Yes.
Is there anything that comes at you in terms of when a customer comes to you and perhaps surprises you a little bit and you have to maybe make some changes and some shifts in order to accommodate them?
Not really. I think the only thing that I find a lot, like we were discussing earlier as well, is that we're not educated enough when it comes to this process. Even for myself, before I started this and I applied for my own mortgage, when you're as you're going along, you're like, oh, I didn't know that. Oh, I didn't know that. This is really high. Like, I didn't know that. And then you really start to, like, your mind is like, wow, nobody really took the time to sit me down and explain this process and all the legal fees that come with it before even purchasing or after purchasing, correct? So, like I said, that's what I find the most. People not understanding the process or being educated enough. And that's what we want to do. We want to educate our young people more about what it really means to own a home and how to get there.
You know, oftentimes, you know, you'll have young people that say, is it really worth it going through all of this hassle, all of this expense just to own a home where I won't even be able to properly afford and I won't probably be able to eat?
Right.
So how do you advise that kind of situation?
With that, and I always tell people, because real estate is an investment. It's a big investment. I always tell people, and I had this conversation this week because a young person came to me, they're like, I want to own a home, but I'm scared I won't be able to afford all these things. And I said, okay, get yourself a duplex, which means you live upstairs and you rent downstairs. So the downstairs helps to cover your mortgage. And then that way, you live a little bit more comfortable and you have that income, that stream of income coming in where you don't have to, it's not as huge lump sum you have to be stressed about every month, right? So that's my first advice. Especially if you're a young person, that's the best thing to do. Get yourself a duplex, like I said, live upstairs, rent portion of the property, and then that way it facilitates everything for you.
And how do you find right now, like let's say just the market in general for whether it's even rentals or properties, do you find that like right now there's enough variety to like accommodate like those first time or those young people who may not you know, like are there good properties for them on the market right now? If you look
right now for first time owners, it's very difficult. It's very difficult because of the prices of the properties and the homes, especially if it's one person applying for it. So definitely we need to work towards being able to facilitate younger people, single mothers, everyone to have a decent living, right? And that is what I was talking prior to the show coming on, that there's something we're working on. I can't say much as yet, right? But we're really excited because this is going to facilitate especially young people who dream of having their homes. And it seems like a dream so far-fetched, like I'm never gonna make it, it's never gonna happen. I guarantee you it's going to happen very soon.
So talk to me a little bit about that, because you know we're at a stage in our lives where young people, youth is at least up to the age of 30, right? And I know for my own experiences, my parents had their home by the time they were my age.
Correct.
So what has shifted in our generation where now young people can't even afford to own a home?
Just the cost of living that has gone up, really and truly. Definitely that is the inflation and the way the economy is right now is what is affected, because like you said, our parents own homes with half the salary that we're making now, right? And with 10 kids, now we have one. We can't afford a home. If we do afford a home, we can't go anywhere else. So that is what it has really affected this generation to own homes. And statistically, this generation is the one that is like, no, I don't want to own homes. Because now homes is like a prison for our generation.
Yeah.
It's like I said, it's not something we're looking forward to enjoy. It's like, I have to do this, and you know,
but then it doesn't give you that sense of independence either, because then it's either you live at home with your parents or with your family, or you invest your entire life into a space.
Right, and it shouldn't be that way. It shouldn't be. It should be everyone should have the opportunity to own their home, right?
Yeah.
Because again, we all look forward to it. So we're working towards that, being able to give young people that opportunity to say, "Man, I can own a home. It might not be the biggest thing in this world or a mansion, but just something that I can call myself. Because at the end of the day, it's about that. Like you said, that feeling of, you know, I finally made it, basically.
Do you also find that are people at this time interested in as well as buying just property or land as an investment, maybe thinking later on down the road that can be something I can maybe afford to build, or I can do, or maybe even I just have it as an asset at one point? Are people also interested in that sort of thing?
Yes, definitely. And again, as we go along, we're educating people. Right now we have an estate in 8 miles. That's one of the things. It's a little bit further away, but that's what our parents did. Our parents didn't purchase in the nicest, biggest neighborhood. They purchased somewhere they could afford, right? A piece of property, whether it's to invest, because property goes up.
Yeah.
Every year it goes up. So purchase something, and I always advise them that you can afford. At this estate in 8 miles, we were doing financing, 10% down, $300 monthly. But again, it comes with sacrifices. You're able to do that, purchase it cash at $25,000, which is really good, right? Pay it off in a couple, 3-4 years. When you have that property and you own that property, you have your savings by that time, and you could go to the bank and say, hey, I want a piece of property. In 3-4 years, it will be worth more. So then you have, you know, a better stance with the lending institutions to get a loan to purchase, or to build something on your property.
Do you think that we started too late as young people? Like the advice then, you know, that all of this, we're just starting to talk about these kinds of investments now. Do you think that, you know, we take too long to talk about it?
Definitely.
Yeah.
I totally agree. And now for me as a mother, and not only did we take long to talk about it, but maybe our parents, maybe not with an ill intention, but maybe because they didn't know any better as well, didn't advise us or guide us well to, you know, to talk about having these conversations early at home, because that's where it starts, right at home. And for a lot of people also, you know, their mom and dads were able to, okay, do the work and leave something for them, which is great. Then there's some of us who would have to, like, start from the bottom and get our own properties and so forth. But it ends here, basically. It ends here, and our children, my children, are now being more educated about, you know, mortgage and homes and buildings and all these things, for sure.
Is there just kind of like, you know, segueing into this kind of conversation, but is there anything that you didn't know when you were purchasing your first home that you wish somebody had told you before you started the process?
Everything, I think. I knew nothing. All I knew was, okay, my husband and I, we want a home to raise our children in, right? And that was about it, because that's the dream, that's the goal. But when we don't take time to really investigate what we're getting ourselves into, again, it becomes such a stressful experience. And as you go along, when you don't have the information prior, then you start like going into this, oh, I didn't know. So I really wish someone had sat me down again with a financial coach prior to even making the decision of, let's go to a lending institution. Let's look at the finances. This is what you need to have. These are the legal fees. This is the process. You're not ready as yet. Let's wait until you're ready, or let's get you ready to that. Let's build you up to that. Then you can go ahead and get your mortgage.
Have you ever had a customer that comes to you with like certain expectations, and then after going through this whole coaching process, like, okay, I don't think I wanted this again?
Right, 90% of people, 90% of people, you know, because again, it's just, oh, the home. That's all they think about. But when you start to, no, it doesn't work like that. It's like this, and this is the next step, and this, and they're like, oh, I don't even want to deal with it anymore, you know? And that's why, again, it's so important to just gather as much information and do some shopping around, just like we shop around for everything else. Call all lending institutions. What is your rate? What is your interest rate? How many years do I have to pay this off, you know? And all this information that you need to make the right decision for yourself and your family, of course.
But then what advice do you give to somebody that, so normally when you have these kinds of conversations, right? You normally need collateral. And for a first-time owner, sometimes you don't have collateral. So how do you go about that kind of situation?
For clients like that, most importantly, like I said, I would advise them, get a piece of property, because that becomes your collateral, right? Purchase a piece of property, wait a little bit, couple years, to pay it off or whatever you need to do while you save for the other expenses that come along with owning a home. Then you go to the bank, okay, this is my collateral, what can I get now for this? So that's the best advice that I give young people.
Do you ever experience the situation where as soon as they begin the process, they do the whole financial advising, they start and everything, and then somewhere along the line are like, I don't know if I want to do this anymore. I don't know if the hassle is worth it. What advice do you have then? They're already in the middle of the process, right? Yeah.
It's totally fine. It's totally fine because whatever works for everyone is different and everyone has different goals. For example, some clients don't have children, don't want to have children. My main reason for doing this is because I have children. So I don't want them to go through what I did. I want to leave something for them, right? So that's my reason to keep pushing with this. Other people who don't want to have children, I advise them, okay, get a duplex again. You rent the bottom or even before, I have some clients who don't own a home for themselves, but they buy properties just to rent out and they pay rent. An example, my rent is $400 a month, it's me one. And I get a property and I get an income of $2,000 a month from that property just to rent out. I'm paying off my rent, I'm paying off my mortgage, and I have some extra cash. That is also an advice that I give young people who, like I said, don't want to have children or want it to do more of an investment.
Are you, is there anything at Kansam Realty that you think our viewers need to be aware of?
I think the project coming in January that I can't really discuss yet, but I'm very excited again. So definitely keep in tune on our Facebook page and Instagram. That's where we post what's going on.
Kansam Realty.
Kansam Realty, yes, for both Instagram and Facebook. So that's where we post our listings, what's available for rental, and also the project that we're working in starting January that we're very excited about. Later on, hopefully by December, we're going to be giving out more information. And also, you know, we also give free advice and consultation. So feel free at no charge, call us, let us know, you know, I want to own a home. Where do I start? Again, we have the financial coach that we work with. We can refer you to them, have them set you up. Once you're good to go, you come back to us. Okay, now let's start looking for a home. Let's start looking for a property and so forth.
Are there any properties that are under Kansam Realty that you offer to customers? Or?
Yes, right now, like I said, what I can think of is the estate in 8 Miles. The properties are at $25,000.
That's really good.
It's really good. Yeah. And we've sold about, I would say, over 30 already, 79 of them. So a few are left. So definitely give us a call, whether it's to invest or whether it's to purchase and build your home. Because properties at that price right now are very scarce. And some people think about it, wow, it's in 8 Miles. But so, you know, Ladyville one spell was just bush, right?
Yeah.
So that's another thing that we have to think about is the long-term investment that we're doing. That's what we have to think about. It's like, okay, it's a little bit distance, but in a couple of years, that property that you're purchasing for $25,000, in 5 years, it's going to be maybe $75,000. And I have people who have purchased just to resell in 5 years. And they have told me, I'm just purchasing this, so in 5 years, I can sell it and make some profit out of it. So it's definitely something that everyone should look into, those properties there. And they're clean and nice. So some of them are just ready to build.
And the time is now to invest.
The time is now. It's now, and I always tell people, do it now. Because the more we think about it, the more prices go up, right? And definitely.
And our salary not to go up with it. So
correct. So when you find opportunities like this, like Private Oaks, or anywhere in little areas like that, I say, take it, even if later on you say, I want to sell it. You can't lose. With real estate, you can't lose. So that's the way to go right now.
All right. Any other advice you have for young homeowners?
Just call us so we can set an appointment with the financial coach.
Okay.
She will be the one to really, you know, let you know, okay, are you ready? Let's wait. This is what we're going to work with. And it seems far-fetched, but again, once you're working with someone, they're guiding you, the clearer mind, it becomes, you know, you have clarity, you have knowledge of the situation, and you move step by step. That's the best advice.
Apart from properties, you have places to rent?
Yes, we do a lot of rentals as well. Right now we don't have anything, but we do rentals. Like I said, rentals, property management, countrywide. Properties and homes for sale, countrywide. Keys and
Sam
everywhere.
Realty on Instagram, Facebook, WhatsApp, email.
Yes. The number is 615-7971.
And email?
It's info@cansamrealty.com.
Okay. And you can catch them all. And then, of course, make sure you get that advice because guaranteed, you know, I really don't like that we're talking about owning a home but not really being able to, because affordability is key. You can afford a home, but you can't afford to live after you've owned a home. And that's the part that scares me.
It is. It's very scary, and that's why getting advice is the best thing you can do before getting yourself into, you know, owning a home or purchasing a home for sure.
Awesome. Well, Crystal, thank you so much for being here.
And
we hope to have you back for that little private secret project in January. But keep us abreast with everything that's going on at CanSam, and we hope to hear from you soon.
Thank you so much. Thank you for having me.
All right. And with that, we're going to take our final break, and we'll be back for a wrap-up. So stay tuned.
Usuario de eCash, la aplicación eCash está disponible en español. Cambiar el idioma de tu aplicación de eCash de inglés a español es rápido y sencillo. Déjame mostrarte cómo se hace. Primero, abre tu aplicación eCash. Introduce tu PIN. Toca el icono More en la parte inferior de tu pantalla. Selecciona Security. Selecciona Language. Y luego selecciona Spanish. Vuelve a introducir tu PIN y ya está. Tu aplicación de eCash está ahora en español y puedes seguir disfrutando de tu cartera digital eCash. La aplicación eCash de Belize Bank te hace la vida más fácil.
Belize Tropical Hemp Company Limited introduces its new CBD products. CBD milk chocolate and CBD dark chocolate. Vegan, gluten-free with no GMO. CBD oil, 100% natural, provides many health benefits such as relieving pain and anxiety and improved heart health. Hemp cigarettes come in a pack of 10 natural hemp smokables. CBD seaweed, natural and refreshing, rich in vitamins and minerals. All products are produced and packaged by Belize Tropical Hemp Company Limited.
I'm always on the go, and the country is my home. So when I want to get away from it all, I immerse myself with my favorite movies, all from the new Smart Stream app. It's easy to use this service. Purchase your movies from the app and use your mobile data, Smart Stream data packages, or smart broadband to stream and enjoy. Be like me and stream on the go with Smart Stream.
Summer is coming to an end, so let's end it with a bang. Come see kids from all over the country while they take center stage to show off their talent on Open Your Eyes Summerfest 2022. That's right. Mark your calendars Friday, August 26th at 6:30 a.m. at Channel 5 on Coney Drive. Come and start your mind and right with kids singing and dancing. Also, come take advantage of great food, entertainment, and loads of back-to-school giveaways, including gifts for the first 100 kids who enter the fest. And the best thing of all, entrance is free. So, what are you waiting for? Set your alarm and pencil in that date because Summerfest 2022 is one event you don't want to miss.
And we are back, and just like that, our Tuesday morning has come to an end.
I know it went like that.
I know. And you know, we had wonderful conversations this morning. I feel that they were all centered around young people trying to make waves, young people trying to start up, whether it be through Social Security, getting all that information that you will need at SSB Connect. Khadija stopped by to talk about being a mompreneur, if you are a mom and an entrepreneur, and how you're able to balance that time of work and play. And then our final conversation with Khan Sam, which was a very depressing conversation for me, all about being a young homeowner and all the steps that you would need and the financial advice that you would need. So we'd like to thank our guests so much for stopping by and to have these conversations with us. But before we go, we have an announcement.
Oh yeah, and if you know, if you're watching just now in the break, we know you saw the ad. We do want to remind you of our Open Your Eyes Summerfest.
Summerfest. I know you're not going to be there, Gavin, but it's going to be a jam-packed show with all of these talented kids, and I haven't seen them yet because I want to be surprised. But our producer tells me that they're wonderful. I think we have about 8 or 10 kids that are going to be up. And they are all super talented, and we can't wait to share that experience with all of you this coming Friday.
Oh yeah, that's definitely a great experience. And if you're seeing on the screen right now for some of the images from our Summerfest in 2019, it's always great to have the kids out there, and we love watching them perform. So we wanted to definitely give you a shout out, remind you about that.
Yes.
And of course, we will be posting all the info right on our Facebook page and our Instagram if you want to find out some more.
And of course, if you tune in, remember, we're not going to be in studio. We are going to be somewhere having the time of our lives with all of these kids at Open Your Eyes Summerfest. So you make sure you stay tuned for that. And of course, we also want to remind you that Tuesday nights are KTV The Remix nights. So stop by the Bliss at 8. Purchase your tickets here at the Channel 5 studio, $5 for adults and $3 for children. We're almost at the final steps, at the stretch, at the last contestants of KTV The Remix. Vote for your favorites. Make sure that you tune in on Facebook and YouTube live stream if you can't make it to the Bliss. But I think we should make it.
Oh, I know. Yeah, definitely.
Yeah.
I always recommend that you do that. So, and of course, we got to remind you that you got to vote for your favorites.
Yes,
so if you got somebody you want to see make it to the final or to win the ultimate grand prize, you know, you got to break out your phone and vote every single week.
You know, Gavin, I'm really interested in your take when it comes to KTV and the judging and so forth, because you are a singer.
Yep.
So you ever consider being a judge on KTV?
You know, I feel like it would. That's always a difficult one. I don't know if. Well, I could. I think that I could do it. What I don't know if I could. I don't know if I could handle being judged by the audience. Being the judge,
that's true. The audience is the ultimate judge. But no. But as a singer, how are you seeing these performances go on?
Well, I think there's two things that I note that I tend to, you know, notice most. I mean, the first one is just, you know, let's say the singing from the technical standpoint. And then the other thing is just sort of, let's say, the stage presence and the performance sort of ability, both of which I find tends to like improve week after week. I think that's mainly because like people's confidence grows the more they get used to it. Because, you know, even great singers, you know, if you for the first couple of times, you know, standing on stage, nerves will definitely influence your performance. But I think that, you know, with that said, every time we have this, I think that, you know, we start out with our wide range of people, and we always filter it down to those who can really bring it. So it's great to watch each year.
I definitely vote for Gavin to be a judge on KTV just because he can sing. You know, like I see the comments like, then judge could even sing. Well, guess what? It can, and you have another one that can. So just saying, that's my vote for next year. No, you could come for me afterwards. But of course, we gotta go. We gotta say goodbye. Thank you so much to our guests. Thank you so much to your viewers for opening your eyes and starting your morning right with us here on Channel 5. If you have any questions or concerns, you can drop us a line right here at oie@channel5believes.com.
You can also find us on Facebook at Open Your Eyes BZ and on Instagram at OIE Belize.
All right, thank you so much, and we'll see you tomorrow when you open your eyes.
Start your morning right.
Keep your eyes, your minds,
and your heart open.
I believe. See you tomorrow.
Open Your Eyes was brought to you by the Belize Bank. Our country, your bank.